the campus of the College of Staten Island, you're watching CUNYAC Game of the Week coverage here on CSI Sportsnet. This afternoon, in the first game of a doubleheader, the College of Staten Island will take on CCNY as CSI continues to look to build on their three-game winning streak coming into the game here this afternoon. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Babuski here for CUNYAC Game of the Week coverage of the women's game between the College of Staten Island and the CCNY Beavers. And for the College of Staten Island, they're continuing to build off of their big win back against Brooklyn College on January 7th. This was a game that kicked off a three-game winning streak for the Dolphins as they were able to go in, get that big bounce-back win against Brooklyn College, and since then have followed it up with convincing victories over Lehman College and Baruch College as they get ready to face CCNY here this afternoon. For the Beavers, a little bit more of a struggle for them here early in this 2018 season, but they do come in with a solid conference record of 5-3 and looking to build on that and get themselves up towards the top of the table. And, you know, for the College of Staten Island, they continue to play very good basketball. As we mentioned before, they've won 3 in a row, and they've been a hot basketball team going back, and they've won 9 out of their last 12 games. So they continue to play well here throughout this 2018-19 season. And for the Dolphins, it's the first of a few conference games this week. John Jay Medgar is coming up, as well as York College. And then the two big conference games remaining for the Dolphins on February 2nd and February 5th. And, you know, when we talk about this CSI Dolphin team, we're talking about a team that, you know, has come in and really, I think, surprised a lot of people this year, playing under a first-year head coach and having such a huge turnover in the roster from one year to the next. You know, a lot of people thought that maybe the Dolphins would take a step back, but the Dolphins have gotten very good point guard play out of their point guard, Megan McEwen, and, you know, one of the players that continues to play really well for the Dolphins has been Diana Tadero. Diana coming into today's game, leading the Dolphins in rebounding, averaging just under 9 rebounds a game, and her 12 points a game is also second on the team. And, you know, she's coming off of a 6 of 9 shooting performance earlier in the week, and, you know, really continues to play well for the Dolphins. As, you know, she's a player that, you know, has always been tenacious and always been a tough physical player for the Dolphins, and she continues that strong play here this year for the Dolphins. And, you know, it was also a big bounce-back game for Jackie Cali as well for the Dolphins. And, you know, the Dolphins have been looking for Jackie to get on track offensively all year long, and she came up probably with her best offensive performance of the season against Baruch earlier this week, as she shot 4 of 8 from the field, but more importantly, 4 of 6 from the three-point line, and finishing with 13 points. And, you know, it was another all-around balanced effort game for the Dolphins. The Dolphins were really able to get 13 or 14 players out onto the floor in that game. And, you know, it was a game against Brooklyn College that against Baruch, that they were able to come out and really pull out to an 8-point lead after the first quarter, and then really pulled away in the second quarter and then throughout the second half. So a good, strong performance for the CSI Dolphins. They continue to play very good, solid team basketball, and, you know, now going into a little bit of a stretch in conference play, where they'll play teams that are huddled around the middle of the conference, as we mentioned before, getting ready for those big games coming up. And that might give us an opportunity now to turn our attention a little bit over to the CCNY Beavers. The Beavers coming in to the game here this afternoon, coming off of a dominating victory against Lehman College, as the Lightning really struggling this year. in both conference and non-conference play. Just one win on the season for the Lightning, as the Beavers were able to come in and get a strong performance in that game and really dominate Lehman College from the outset going into the second quarter with a 23-9 lead. The Lightning never scoring double digits in that game, as the Beavers played good defense in that game as well. CCNY led by 17 points from Crystal Blair. Blair 5 of 6 shooting, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Another big game for Ashley Brooks. Brooks finished with 11 rebounds, including 5 on the offensive end to go along with her 14 points. And Deborah Chan, the steady guard presence for the Beavers, finishing with 8 points, but also had 5 assists in that game as well. So both teams coming into this game having come off victories, both teams playing over 500 in conference play here this year, and both teams looking to continue to play well here in this matinee game. These games were originally scheduled to tip off at an hour later, but the time has been moved back. You see tip-off on your screen at 1 p.m. That is incorrect, as the tip-off is coming up at 12. The game's pushed up an hour here this afternoon with the chance of a winter storm coming in. So both teams thought it was a good idea to get this game started an hour early. So we're just moments away from tip-off here between the Dolphins and the Beavers. We mentioned before that the Dolphins sitting atop the table right now. 3 teams sitting in the CUNYAC Conference in first place at this point, at least all tied with just 1 loss. Hunter College sitting at 9-1. Hunter has defeated the Dolphins this year. The Dolphins sitting at 7-1, as you see the standings up on your screen. Brooklyn College at 6-1. So CSI has defeated Brooklyn, and Brooklyn has defeated Hunter. Those are the losses for the team at the top of the table. CCNY sitting nicely in 4th place, currently at 5-3. John Jay still right there at 4-4. Baruch at 3-5. York at 2-6. Lehman at 1-7. And Medgar Evers continues to struggle at 0-8 in conference play here this afternoon. So here in the CUNYAC Game of the Week, we're moments away from the start of the game. We'll step aside, take a break, and then we'll be back to bring you the starting lineups as you're watching CUNYAC doubleheader women's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do him like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same.
Gotta get the boys.
Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.com.
We're back, and we're just moments away from the start of this afternoon's game between the College of Staten Island and the CCNY Beavers. The College of Staten Island hosting the CUNYAC Game of the Week here right on CSI Sportsnet, as the Beavers have been introduced out on the floor. And let's bring you the starting lineups for the Beavers here this afternoon. It'll be number 11, Crystal Blair. We mentioned Blair, the leading scorer against Lehman College earlier this week in that big Beavers win. The remainder of the starting lineup: number 13, Emily Arias, number 15, Ashley Brooks, number 20, Elizabeth Zullo, and number 30, Deborah Chan. For the College of Staten Island, it's been the starting five that they've been running out onto the floor for the last several games in a row. Number 1, Megan McEwen, number 5, Nicole and Bessie, number 13, Diana Tadero, number 24, Jackie Callie, and number 32, Rosa Perone. The Dolphins coached by first-year head coach Nicole Sarcone. Nicole having really a great freshman season in her coaching first year for the Dolphins. 13-4 on the year, 7-3 in conference play, and Dolphins are going to look to continue to build on that momentum here this afternoon as they get ready to face Hunter College. The CSI Dolphin team coming into the game this afternoon averaging just under 66 points a game. The Beavers coming in to today's game averaging just over 60. Dolphins also doing a nice job defensively on the year. First in defense in the conference, allowing just 53 points a game. Beavers sitting in third place in the conference. They've been allowing just over 58 points a game. And big day of basketball in the CUNYAC Conference here this afternoon, and we'll have an opportunity to discuss that. John Jay against Lehman, Brooklyn playing at home against Farmingdale State, and Baruch on the road against Old Westbury. As we're underway here between the Dolphins and the Beavers, as Callie gets the ball in the hands of Megan McEwen, and here we go. McEwen working the ball across the court now over to Mbesi. She feeds it inside to Tadero. Tadero back up over to Callie as McEwen puts up the open three-pointer. It's no good, but Tadero is right there to grab the rebound and lay it up and in. Tadero, the leading rebounder for the Dolphins, picks up an offensive rebound to start the game. And now the Dolphins are going to pick up a foul in the backcourt. So the first foul of the game will be on the Dolphins, as it looks like that foul will be called on Diana Tadero. Is Tadero active here in the first 32 seconds, a rebound, a basket, and the first foul. Beavers with the basketball as Chen brings the ball up across the midcourt line, and we have a whistle on the play. So I believe we had a shot clock issue, and it looks like we're also going to have an early substitution, as I think there was a little bit of a delay by a clock issue on the play, and the officials go over and discuss it. Both teams will head out over to their bench. So 37 seconds into play, and we have a stoppage, so we'll get back underway here in just a moment. With the Beavers getting ready to inbound the basketball, 26 seconds on the shot clock, and the Dolphins with the first basket here of the afternoon. Arias inbounds the basketball. She gets the ball out over to Chen. Chen looking to work against McEwen. A nice feed inside to Brooks. Her layup is up no good. And then Bessie grabs the rebound for the Dolphins. McEwen over to Callie out by the three-point line. Now in Bessie, as the Dolphins work the ball around the perimeter. Nice feed inside as Schmitter lays it up and in. Schmitter, an early substitution for Tadero, and she gets right on the board. And the Dolphins now lead by a score of 4-0. Chen working the ball up over to Arias now. Now it's going to be Zullo. Zullo driving hard to the basket. That shot will be no good, and it will be out of bounds. Zullo pleading her case, but it will be Dolphins basketball as we have an opportunity to look at that crisp passing that led to that Schmidt layup on the Dolphins' last possession. McEwen with the basketball, working it out over to Callie. Callie now in the corner to Schmidt. Back to Callie. Her long three-pointer rolls around and out. And Bessie there to grab the rebound. A bounce pass goes inside to Schmidt. Back to McEwen. Megan driving the ball inside. Her layup is up, no good. Fight for possession, and it'll be Brooks coming away with the ball now for the Beavers. As Chen brings the ball up the center of the floor. Chen feeds the ball inside now to Blair. Nice feed from Blair inside to Brooks, who lays it up and in. First basket of the game for the Beavers, 4-2. Schmidt, bounce pass to Perot, who lays it up and in. Nice passing that time. Schmidt from to Perone, and the Dolphins lead 6-2. Chen bringing the ball across the midcourt line. Chen looking to drive it down the lane. Her layup goes in and out. There to grab the rebound is Blair. Her putback is no good, and Perone grabs another rebound for the Dolphins. McEwen backing things out at the three-point line and setting up the play for the Dolphins. Feeding inside to Perone. That shot's up, no good. And Brooks is there to grab the rebound now for the Beavers. Just underway, Dolphins lead 6-2, 3 minutes into play as Schmidt picks up the block for the Dolphins. Callie, McEwen working the ball up over in the corner now to Mbesi. McEwen back to Mbesi. Her long jumper is up, no good. And that ball hits the floor, but Blair able to come away with the rebound now for the Beavers. Chen with the basketball. She works it out over to Arias inside, and the layup is up and in. And the Beavers have been able to get the ball inside a couple of times. And that time they get it inside and make it a two-point game, 6-4. Mbesi inside to Schmidt. Schmidt, short baseline jumper is good. Schmidt has shown the ability to hit that shot all year long. She drills that one, and it's now an 8-4 game. Blair with the basketball now for the Beavers. Pass inside, the ball hits the floor, but the Beavers come away with it. They feed it inside once again. That time Brooks misses the layup, fight for possession, and 3 players on the floor, and the Dolphins come away with the basketball. McEwen gets called for the travel. So the Dolphins turn the ball over as we have an opportunity to look at that nice play inside and the block by Schmidt. Kayla, one of the top players in blocks in the conference, is we're going to have a whistle and a foul in the backcourt. Schmidt currently 4th in the conference. That was her 21st block of the year. As we're going to have a foul on the Dolphins, that will be on Perone as Rosa picks up her first and the team's second. Chen working the ball out over to Zullo. Now the play inside, and McEwen trying to come away with the turnover, and she does. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul in the backcourt, and this time it'll be a foul on the Beavers. So that foul will be on Arias, and that will be her first and the first on the Beavers. Long cross-court pass over to Mbesi. Mbesi feeds it inside to Perone. Her shot is blocked beautifully by Brooks, and here come the Beavers looking to run. Chen slows the ball up, and now the Beavers look to set up offensively as they feed the ball out over to Blair. The long three-pointer is good, and that'll draw the Beavers to within 1 as Chen hits the first three-pointer of the game for the Beavers. And we're going to have a 30-second timeout on the floor, so we'll keep it right here. We'd like to thank Pepsi, the official soft drink of the CUNY Athletic Conference, for helping to sponsor today's CUNYAC Game of the Week, as the CUNYAC Game of the Week here this afternoon featuring the women's game between the College of Staten Island and the CCNY Beavers. Don't forget to stay tuned about a half hour after the conclusion of this game, as we'll be right back to bring you men's coverage of the same two teams as the College of Staten Island gets ready to face the CCNY Beavers. The men's basketball team really just red hot all year long, really started out slow, and since turning that around and coming off of a tough non-conference schedule to start the season, this Dolphin team has been really almost unbeatable and has been playing really well, and we're looking forward to that second game here this afternoon. But we're back in action here. Good start to this game. 8-7 as Callie puts up that three-pointer. That's no good. And the rebound control by the Beavers. Opportunity for CCNY to take the lead here as Arias puts up the long three-pointer. That's no good. And we're going to have a whistle and an offensive foul on the play. So that foul is going to be on Ashley Brooks. That's her first and the second on the team, and now the Dolphins with an opportunity. As we're going to have a whistle, and this will be an offensive foul, this time on the Dolphins. 4 minutes, 21 seconds on your screen. 8-7 the score. It's been a good first quarter here so far as that ball inbounded and out of bounds. And now it'll be the Beavers who turn the ball over. So Dolphins inbound the ball under their basket as the pass goes to Tadaro. It goes through her hands, but she's able to recover. Now in the corner to Callie as the Dolphins look to set up offensively. A feed inside to Tadaro. Her shot is partially blocked, but the ball goes out of bounds and will remain in possession of the Dolphins. Callie, nice feed inside to Tadaro. Another nice play. And now it's the Beavers coming away with the basketball. Chen working the ball in the corner. The long three-pointer that time by Arias is up no good. But the Beavers there to grab the rebound. They have two more opportunities and can't convert. And Perone comes away with the ball for the Dolphins. Inside to Perone now, who lays it up and in. Nice job by Rosa Perone to take that ball to the basket and give the Dolphins a 10-7 lead. Perone now 2 of 4 from the field. She has 4 for the Dolphins. Chen working the ball inside to Blair. Back up in the corner. The open three-pointer by Zulo is good. First basket of the game for Zulo. She has 3, and we're tied up at 10. Feed goes inside to Mbesi. Now to Tadaro. Her short jumper from the baseline is good. 12-10 now. Both teams coming out and playing well here in this first quarter is Chen. Working the ball back up over to Blair. She drives her way inside. A lot of contact inside, and it'll be a foul on Perone. So Perone will pick up a second as you have an opportunity to see a replay on that open three-point shot by CCNY. As we have a whistle and a timeout on the floor. It'll be a full timeout, so we'll step aside and take a break. We have 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Dolphins lead by a score of 12-10. You're watching CUNYAC Game of the Week coverage right here on your voice of CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
This is why you took a second job. While you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. While you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
Register for Army ROTC to be a leader and an officer in the U.S. Army, Army Reserve, or Army National Guard. You could also be eligible for a full-time tuition scholarship. Lead the team that makes a difference. Contact CUNY ROTC today at 212-650-6478. Again, that's 212-650-6478. Paid for by the U.S. Army. We're back here on CUNYAC Game of the Week coverage. The Dolphins lead by a score of 12-10. Both teams coming in playing very well. The Dolphins just one loss in conference play throughout this year. CCNY coming in with a record of 5-3, and both teams have come out and played well here in this first quarter. And now it'll be an opportunity for the Beavers to go to the free throw line and tie this one up. So Blair goes to the free throw line. Her first free throw is up and good. Crystal coming off of a big game against Lehman College here, as she hits the second, and the Beavers tie this one up once again at 12. McEwen bringing the ball across the midcourt line as she works the ball out in the corner now. Schmitter along the baseline. Pass inside is tipped away, but McEwen able to recover nicely. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul out on the floor. Brianna Rubisky checking into the game for the Dolphins. And Christina Camalengo coming into the game as well, as she replaces Jackie Callie. So Camalengo to inbound the basketball, lobbing it back out over to McEwen. Now Schmitter. Rubisky working the ball out over to McEwen. 22 seconds remaining. Good defensive play that time by Blair, as we're going to have a whistle and a jump ball, and the possession arrow will go to the Beavers off the Dolphin turnover. So the Dolphins with their third turnover here in the afternoon. Both teams with 3, and we're tied at 12. Madison LaSalle, who's checked into the game, gets it over to Chen. Her long three-pointer is up, no good, but she's able to grab her own offensive rebound. And a jump shot from the free throw line is good, and the Beavers have their first lead of the game, 14-12. Camalengo with the basketball now for the Dolphins. Rubisky as they work it over to Tadero. Now back to an open Camalengo. Her open three-pointer is good. So Christina hits her first shot of the afternoon to give the Dolphins a 1-point lead. Chen with the basketball, looking to work against Rubisky. She loses possession, and McEwen comes away with the ball now for the Dolphins. McEwen in the corner to Rubisky. Her long three-pointer is up, no good, and we're going to have a whistle and an offensive foul called on the play. We have an opportunity to see that Camalengo three-pointer once again out on your screen. And that foul is going to be on McEwen, and that's going to be her first. 15 foul on the Dolphins with 1 minute 18 seconds remaining in the quarter. And LaSalle with the basketball as we have a whistle. And we're going to have another jump ball. Nice defensive play that time by the Dolphins, as that was Troy Moreland who checked into the game for the Dolphins with the nice defensive play. So Tori, who just joined the team, getting some early playing time here in this first quarter. McEwen, Camalengo with the basketball now, lobbing it out over to McEwen. Now Rubisky thought about the open three, feeding it inside. Now Camalengo, her long three-pointer is up, no good. And that rebound's going to be grabbed by McCray. Inside of 1 minute remaining here in the first quarter. Nice feed inside that time, looking for Chen. Camalengo there to grab the ball away and feed it out over to Schmitter. So the Dolphins have the ball now off the turnover. McEwen working the ball out over to Rubisky. The long three-pointer is up, no good, but Schmidt going up strong to grab the rebound and laying it up and in. Nice, strong move that time as Brooks was right up on top of her, but she's able to lay it up and in. She now has 6 for the Dolphins, and the Dolphins have a 3-point lead. Brooks hands the ball off to Chen. Shot clock off now with 7 seconds remaining here in the quarter. Chen puts up the long three-pointer. That's no good. McEwen goes up for the rebound with 1 second. She hoists it, and that will be no good. So 1 quarter in the books, and the Dolphins lead by a score of 17-14. So we'll step aside, take a break. You're watching CUNYAC Game of the Week coverage right here on your voice of everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt. And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet.
Shoebox under the bed. Where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
We're back here, 1 quarter in the books. The Dolphins lead by a score of 17-14. And we'd like to thank Municipal Credit Union. MCU is one of the oldest and largest credit unions in the country. CUNY students, faculty, and staff are all eligible to join MCU and experience the benefits and security of credit union membership. For more information, please visit the Municipal Credit Union's website, nymcu.org, and support the official credit union of CUNY Athletics. Just underway here in the second quarter. The Dolphins lead by 3, 17-14. It's been a good back-and-forth game, and the Beavers will turn the ball over on their first possession. Beavers with 5 turnovers in that first quarter. The Dolphins with 4. And the Dolphins lead by a score of 17-14 as they have their first offensive possession here in the second quarter. Schmitter over to Carmelengo. She worked it out over to McEwen. Her open three-pointer is up, no good. And going up strong to grab the rebound is Arias for the Beavers. McRae with the basketball. McRae takes the ball strong to the basket, misses the layup, but draws the foul. We look back at that first quarter, and Schmitter leading the Dolphins in points. 6 points in that first quarter. She checked into the game as a substitute and has played very well throughout her freshman year, really coming out on the floor and making an immediate difference for this Dolphin team, both with her size and her ability to shoot with either hand inside and hit the short jumper outside. We'll have a lane violation that time as Crystal Blair jumped into the lane way early, and the free throw was missed anyway, but it will be Dolphins basketball. The Beavers have made it a 2-point game, 17-15, just underway here in the second quarter. Schmitter working the ball out over to Moylan, and the Dolphins turn the ball over now, and it will be the Beavers' opportunity to try to tie up or take the lead on this possession. McRae with the basketball, over to Blair. Blair working her way in the lane and gets called for the travel. Bangs the ball off the floor, but the Dolphins will get to inbound. McEwen with the basketball, bringing the ball across the center of the floor as the Dolphins look to set up offensively, looking for their first points here in the second quarter. Carmelengo with the basketball. McEwen Bounce pass now goes inside to Moylan, who's getting some minutes here. Just joining the team. Schmitter, the one-hander from in the lane, is good. Nice shot that time by Schmitter. She's yet to miss this afternoon. She's 4 of 4. As we're going to have a whistle on the play. And the Beavers will inbound the basketball. Chen with the basketball now for the Beavers. And she brings the ball up across the midcourt line. And the Beavers look to set up now, trailing by 4, 19-15. Chen, the long three-pointer is good. Deborah Chen shooting 29% from the three-point line, but she's got 2 already, 8 points on the game. She's averaging just under 11, but she's off to a strong start here this afternoon, and that makes it a 1-point game as Dolphins shoot and miss, and the Beavers will inbound from the side court. Have an opportunity to see a replay on that last one, and now it'll be 3 of 6 for CCNY from the three-point line. Dolphins just 1 of 7. Brooks with the basketball. Brooks handing the ball off to McCray. McCray streaking down the lane. A floater is up, no good. But Brooks is able to tip it over to Blair, who lays it up and in. Beavers regain now a 1-point lead here, 20-19, as Robisky looks to feed it inside, and it'll be another turnover for the Dolphins as Blair comes away with the basketball. McCray backing the ball out beyond the three-point line as the Beavers look to set up offensively. Blair feeding the ball inside nicely. That shot is up, no good, but we're going to have a whistle and a foul on the play as CCNY has been very successful pounding the ball inside into the paint all afternoon long. Brooks will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 for the Beavers. Ashley, a 68% free throw shooter coming into the game. She hits the first. And the Beavers have their biggest lead of the game now, or they match their biggest lead of the game, I should say. It's 2. One more here coming up for Brooks. Her second free throw is up and in as the Beavers now have a 3-point lead. As you see the free throw totals up on your screen, Beavers 5 of 6. Dolphins have yet to go to the free throw line. Bessie working the ball now in the quarter to Moylan. Moylan getting it back in the quarter. An open three-pointer is good. So Tori Moylan, the freshman from Notre Dame, hits the three-pointer for the Dolphins and draws them. It's actually going to be scored at 2, so that draws the Dolphins back to within 1. That shot is up and no good by Brooks, but we're going to have a whistle and another foul on the Dolphins as you have an opportunity to see that long 2 by Tori Moylan. Her first points of the game. And Brooks will go right back to the free throw line for another 2 free throws as she hits the first. So Tadaro will come back into the game. She'll replace Kayla Schmitter. Schmitter played very well for the Dolphins, finishing with 8 points as the scoreboard has just flashed off. So we're going to have a whistle and a delay in the action as they look to get that fixed. Let's see if it's going to come right back up, as it will be the Dolphins to inbound, as head coach Jamie Angeli looking to have a word with the referee. And I think the clock is back up, so I think we'll keep it right here. It doesn't look like there's going to be any break in the action, as the Dolphins trail by 2, 23-21, and it's McEwen bringing the ball across the midcourt line for the Dolphins. Tadaro gets it over to Bessie, now to McEwen. They feed inside, as that time Moylan was breaking towards the basket, and it'll be the Beavers coming away with another Dolphin turnover. Scramble on the floor as Bessie gets the ball out over to McEwen. as the teams exchange turnovers, and McEwen hammered going to the basket, and she'll draw the foul, and the Dolphins will go to the free throw line for the first time tonight. You see the turnovers up on your screen, 8 for CCNY, 7 for the Dolphins. So it'll be actually a non-shooting foul as the Dolphins inbound as they feed the ball inside to Moylan. That shot's up no good. Tadero trying to go up strong. We have a whistle as Tadero on the baseline, and it'll be the Dolphins to turn the ball over. .5:45 remaining here in this first half. Dolphins down by 2, 23-21. McCray with the basketball. McCray looks to use the screen and feed the ball inside to Brooks as we have a whistle and a fight for the ball, and we're going to have a foul on the play, and that's going to be on Ashley Brooks. So that foul will be on Brooks. That will be her second, and the Dolphins will inbound. McEwen bringing the ball slowly across the midcourt line for the Dolphins as they look to set up. McEwen to Darrow. Imbesi kicking the ball out to Callie. Now McEwen, the open three-pointer is up no good. Fight for the rebound. And McCray comes away with the ball for the Beavers. McCray looking to work against McEwen as the Beavers set up offensively now with 15 on the shot clock. Pass goes through the hands of LaSalle, rolls back into the backcourt, and Zulo picks up the basketball, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul in the backcourt on the Dolphins. That foul will be on Imbesi. That will be her fourth. Her first and the team's first. Zulo to inbound the basketball now as we have another whistle out on the floor. And now the Beavers will inbound the basketball with a 2-point lead. McCray with the basketball. McCray looking to feed the ball across the floor now and gets the ball out over to Zulo. Back to McCray. She feeds the ball inside to Blair. Blair trying to work her way inside. She's double-teamed. Once again, Dolphins on the baseline, so it will be Beaver basketball with 13 to shoot. Zulo to inbound the basketball now as she feeds it inside to Torres. And Torres is going to be called for the travel. 8th turnover by the Beavers as the Dolphins bring the ball up across the midcourt line. Callie in the corner. Callie feeds it inside to McEwen, who lays it up and in. Nice play by the Dolphins to tie this game up at 23. Chen with the basketball. Chen bringing the ball across the midcourt line, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul on the play. As another foul 30 feet from the basket. As that foul will be called on Tadero. Dolphins over the limit now with 4 minutes remaining in the quarter. As Chen goes to the free throw line to shoot 2, she hits the first. Chen, an 86% free throw shooter coming into the game. She's now 25 of 29 on the year. That second free throw is up no good. Fight for the rebound as it comes away to Moylan. The long pass goes down the floor, and it's out of bounds. And Dolphins very fortunate to maintain possession as they nearly threw that one away. McEwen with the basketball over to Imbesi. Working the ball in the corner now to Moylan. Imbesi back out in the corner to Moylan. Another long 2-pointer. That's up no good. And Tadero is there to grab the offensive rebound and feed it out over to McEwen, who will get called for the travel. Dolphins with their 9th turnover of the afternoon. And now the Beavers have possession of the ball. As that ball taken to the basket by McCray, it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Dolphins. And it will remain in possession of CCNY. Beavers looking for somewhere to go with the basketball. They're able to inbound it now as the short shot is up no good. And the Dolphins come away with the rebound as that's McEwen for the Dolphins. The feed inside. Dolphins once again very fortunate not to turn the ball over. And then Mbesi puts up an air ball. And the Beavers come away with the basketball, leading by 1. Zulu with the basketball now. Beavers working the ball outside now around the 3-point line. McCray looking to work it inside. They kick it out in the corner. The long 3-pointer is up no good. And Callie there to grab the rebound for the Dolphins. And no communication that time by the Dolphins as Torres able to come up right behind her and take the ball away. Dolphins have scored just 6 points here in this second quarter. They've been outscored 10-6, and they trail by 1, and we're going to have a whistle and another foul on the Dolphins. So that foul will be on McEwen. That'll be her second. Dolphins already over the limit, and the Beavers will go to the free throw line once again to shoot their 9th free throw of the afternoon. Dolphins still looking for their first attempt. That free throw is up no good, but terrible job by the Dolphins, not boxing out at all, and the Beavers come away with the rebound. Chen with the basketball. Chen driving down the lane and lays it up and in. Beavers with their biggest lead of the game now. It's 5 points, 28-23. And Bessie with the basketball. Back out over to Callie. Callie's open 3-pointer is good. Big basket that time by Callie to make it a 2-point game. Her first basket of the afternoon. Chen, the open 3-pointer. That's no good. And McEwen there to grab the rebound for the Dolphins. McEwen bringing it in the front court. Back out over to Callie. Inside to Mbesi. Dolphins working around the perimeter. The long 3-pointer is up no good. But Moylan there to grab the rebound and feed it out over to Mbesi. Mbesi works it inside to McEwen. As that shot is up no good. And Chen comes away with the basketball for the Dolphins. Beautiful feed inside to Torres, who lays it up and in. Is a couple of possessions in a row where Dolphins don't defend under the basket. CCNY able to take it right to the basket, and they lead by 4 once again. Kamalengo out by the 3-point line in the corner to Callie. Callie fakes the 3-pointer, puts up the long 2, and it goes in. Dolphins close the deficit now to 2 as we're inside of 43 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Chan with the basketball. Chan working the ball back out over to Zula. Working it inside. The layup is up no good. And the rebound control by Moylan for the Dolphins. And Bessie with the basketball. Back out over to McEwen. McEwen driving her way inside. Looked like there might have been some contact on the play. No call. And the Beavers have an opportunity to take the final shot here in the first half. McCray working the shot clock down to 6. The ball worked inside now to Torres, who's able to lay it up and in and draw the foul. Once again, the Dolphins failing to defend underneath their basket as the Beavers able to take it right inside. Get the ball inside to Torres, who lays it up and in and draws a foul on the play. Dolphins have been over the limit since over 4 minutes remaining here in this quarter. As that free throw is up, no good. Callie comes away with the basketball. Her long heave from midcourt is no good. And the Dolphins will go into halftime, I should say, trailing this game by a score of 32-28. It wasn't the kind of start the Dolphins were looking for here this afternoon, as we take a quick look at some of the halftime stats here this afternoon. And for the CSI Dolphins, they've turned the ball over 10 times. Both teams have turned the ball over 10 times here this afternoon. And the Dolphins found themselves with a 3-point lead after one quarter, 17-14. But in that second quarter, the Dolphins only able to put up 11 points, as they find themselves going into halftime trailing by a score of 32-28. And, looking at some of the statistics, the statistics really close, but, you got to give the Beavers a lot of credit. They've been doing a nice job getting the ball inside and, really playing tough. And, they've been playing very physically all game long here this afternoon. And it's been the Dolphins who have been picking up the personal fouls in droves. The Beavers just with 5 fouls here all afternoon long. Ashley Brooks leading the team with 2. The Dolphins have already picked up 12 fouls here in the first half. The Dolphins have 3 players with 2 personals. Schmitter along for the Dolphins, along with McEwen and Tadero, and Rosa Perone with 3 fouls already. And from the free throw line, the Beavers have been to the line 12 times here this afternoon. The Dolphins yet to go to the free throw line. And, you look at the way they're playing here this afternoon, and, you got to give a lot of credit here to CCNY, as they've been doing a nice job defensively on the Dolphins. They played very physically all afternoon long, and, really they've had the better of play here in this first half, and that's why the Dolphins find themselves trailing in this game by a score of 32-28. And, for the Dolphins, a team that has been playing very well, a team with just 1 loss here throughout conference play, and they're going to find themselves here trailing at halftime by a score of 32-28. So we'll step aside and take a break here. We're at halftime. You're watching the CUNYAC Game of the Week. CCNY leading the Dolphins by a score of 32-28. We'll step aside, we'll take a break here, and then we'll be back to bring you the start of the second half as you're watching women's basketball coverage and the CUNYAC Game of the Week on your voice of everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Here she comes. I, Krista, take you, Jamie, to be my wife.
The ceremony was a blast. It was just like this surreal moment of my dreams are coming true.
When we found out that we were pregnant, we were just elated. We were just sitting there waiting for the pediatrician. She said, "Oh, I apologize. She won't be taking you in as a client."
We are a lesbian couple, but she's just a baby. She's the one you're denying the service to.
And sitting there in that small, cold room, I wanted to cry, just thinking, what did we bring this kid into?
We're simply asking to treat our family the same way that you would treat any family.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. but I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
So we were walking to school. At the corner, we waited for the traffic light.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart,
want cheese pizza,
but
like at Luigi's.
sometimes her mind wanders.
They have this video game there, and Kate's got the high score. We should have a sleepover. Maybe I should pack my pajamas.
I remember saying, Laura? Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
When we finally got there,
she gave me a hug goodbye.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope
bad
I don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day
today.
at school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free online resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Here you'll get personalized recommendations, practical tips, daily access to experts, and more. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org.
Be right back.
Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will have...
I got a creak in my neck, limp in my step, cramping in my muscles every time I try to flex. That I was scared of. But if you throw me love, I'll throw you some more.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
I remember, Dad, you and Mom got this car with a hatchback. I said, you know, I'd be happy to give you the money to get a really great car. And he said, well, no, this works for me. I says, why? Because it's the right height to put the meals in. Dad, tell me when you first got an inkling about Meals on Wheels.
There was kind of an abandoned house. That's where we got started with Meals on Wheels. We kind of filled a need for people as they got older.
It's the human interaction that probably fed them much more than the food.
Oh, yeah. When you can see somebody else benefiting by your life in some way, you can't help but feel good about it, I think.
Well, the reason I'm involved, Dad, is because you are, and you're so inspiring. How you've impacted people is enormous.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
Your dad
that is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Surprise! Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
We're back here at halftime on the Cuniac Game of the Week, where the CCNY Beavers lead the College of Staten Island by a score of 32-28. And as we have an opportunity to take a look at the statistics here in the first half, a very strong first half played by CCNY. They've come out and they've played strong, and they've been able to get the ball inside. And you look at the stats up on your screen, they're all pretty even. Dolphins shooting 38%, the Beavers shooting 38%. Dolphins have gotten 5 more shots up. Dolphins just 2 of 11 from the three-point line. CCNY 3 of 8. That's 38%. And the big glaring disparity in free throws as CCNY to the free throw line 12 points in that 12 times in that first half. They've just hit 7 of 12. The rebounding battle also very even. Dolphins leading by 3. Both teams with 7 offensive rebounds, and both teams have turned the ball over in 10 times. And it's the Dolphins that find themselves with a lot of plays in foul trouble. Rosa Perone picking up 3 personal fouls in just 7 minutes of play. Diana Tadero picked up 2 in just 8 minutes of play. Other plays with 2 fouls apiece include Kayla Schmitter, who picked up her 2 personal fouls in just 10 minutes, and Megan McEwen also with 2. She played all 20 minutes in that first half for the Dolphins. For CCNY, only 1 player with 2 personal fouls, that's Ashley Brooks, as the Beavers were only called for 5 personal fouls in that first half compared to 12 personals for the CSI Dolphins. And like we mentioned before, the Beavers sent to the line 12 times in that first half. The Dolphins yet to go to the free throw line in that first half of play. The Hospital for Special Surgery is where the world comes to get back in the game. The hospital ranked #1 in the nation for orthopedics by U.S. News and World Report. No wonder Hospital for Special Surgery is the official hospital of the Cuniac Conference. For more information, please visit www.hss.edu. That's www.hss.edu. We're just about 2 minutes or so away from the start of the second half, and if you're the CCNY Beavers here, you want to come out, continue to play strong, good basketball. You look at the Beavers led by 11 points by Deborah Chen. Deborah already exceeding her season average on the year. Crystal Blair with 8 points for the Beavers. Ashley Brooks finished with 5 points as well, and Crystal also picking up 3 steals as well for Crystal, as she really played a strong all-around game for the Beavers in that first half. For the College of Staten Island, they were led in scoring by 8 points by Kayla Schmitter on 4 of 4 shooting. She picked up 2 personal fouls in her 10 minutes of play, but if you take out that 4 of 4 for Kayla Schmitter, the remainder of the CSI Dolphin team shooting just 9 of 30, so they're going to need to play much better if they're going to try to get back in this game here in this second half. Just a programming reminder, about 30 minutes or so after the conclusion of the opening game of this doubleheader, we'll be back to bring you men's basketball coverage on CSI Sportsnet exclusively as they get ready to take on the same CCNY Beavers in another big conference matchup here this afternoon. As we mentioned before, the CSI men's basketball team really on fire as of late and really have played very well. And, since winning the Tournament of Heroes Championship back in December. You know, they've just been a team on a roll and on a mission, and we'll have plenty of opportunity to talk about them as you have an opportunity to see the current CUNYAC men's basketball standings up on your screen. CSI coming off of that big win against Baruch earlier in the week to hand the Bearcats their only loss. So with the tiebreaker, the Dolphins technically in first place now, although of course loss is the most important thing, and both teams tied at 7-1. Medgar Evers, really a nice bounce back year here for the Cougars this year at 5-3 already, and we'll have an opportunity to talk more about the CUNYAC men's basketball standings as we get you ready for that men's basketball contest. Once again, approximately a half hour or so after the conclusion of the contest here this afternoon. And, you know, for the CCNY Beavers, they've come out here today. They've played very well. They've shot above their season average from the field, coming in shooting just 35% on the year. But here this afternoon doing a nice job getting their shooting up to 38% and putting themselves in position, good position here, with a 4-point lead over the Dolphins as we get ready to start the second half here this afternoon, as the Dolphins will go from right to left here in the second half, and they'll have the first possession. Tadero with the basketball gets it back from Mbesi, and the short baseline jumper by Tadero is good. Good offensive start for the Dolphins here to start the second half, and they trail by 2, 32-30. Zulo with the basketball, now walking it out over to LaSalle. LaSalle feeding the ball in the corner now, gets it up over to Blair. Blair drives down the lane and lays it up and in, and really since this second quarter, it's just been foul after foul on the Dolphins here. As you got to give the Beavers credit, they're able to get the ball inside as Schmitter picks up her third personal foul in 11 minutes of play here this afternoon. Their free throw is up and in, and the Beavers now find themselves with that matches their biggest lead of the game. It's 5 points, 35-30. Callie with the basketball. Works it up over to Schmitter. Her jumper from the baseline is up no good. Tadero grabs the offensive rebound, and the Dolphins will set up offensively once again. McEwen and Bessie over to Callie. Now McEwen puts up the three-pointer. That's no good, as we have a fight for the ball, and Brooks comes away with the rebound for the Beavers, her fifth rebound of the afternoon. Zulo with the basketball over to Blair. Now Zulo feeding it out over to LaSalle. LaSalle able to drive right down the lane and lay it up and in, and that time Schmitter with those three personal fouls really couldn't afford to be aggressive defensively on the play. 37-30, Beavers with their biggest lead, but Callie comes right back with a big three-pointer of her own to make it a 4-point game. Second three-pointer of the game for Callie. She's got 8. Chen with the basketball. Chen looking to drive her way inside. Her layup is up no good, and Callie comes away with the rebound now for the Dolphins. Callie in the corner to McEwen. She thought about the three-point and now feeds it over to Schmitter. Tadero, the short baseline jumper is good. So Tadero 2 for 2 here in the second half for the Dolphins, and they make it a 2-point game now, 37-35. Chen nearly loses possession. Now McEwen comes away with the basketball, and we're going to have a whistle and a traveling call against the Dolphins. So we have an opportunity to take a look at that last three-pointer there by Callie that made it a 2-point game. The Dolphins nearly came away with the turnover, but then McEwen got called for the travel. LaSalle with the basketball. Beavers working around the perimeter now to Zulo. Now it's LaSalle. LaSalle has the ball knocked away from behind, so it'll remain Beaver basketball with 13 seconds on the shot clock. 7 minutes and 26 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Beavers looking for somewhere to go with the basketball. They're able to work it now over to Brooks. Now the tough three-pointer is up no good, and Tadero there to grab the rebound for the Dolphins. McEwen. Callie thought about the three-pointer. Feeds it inside to Tadero, who lays it up and in. So Tadero drives that ball to the basket, lays it up and in, and that ties the game up at 37 as the Dolphins go on a 7-0 run to come right back and tie this game up after the Beavers took their biggest lead of the game, 37-30. So Dolphins continue to plug away, and for the CSI Dolphins, they now have 2 players with 3 personal fouls. That'll be Schmitter and Perrone. And also out on the floor with 2 for the Dolphins are Tadero, as we have an opportunity to see that layup inside to Tadero. Is a little bit of contact on the play, but nothing called. So the Dolphins come back onto the floor now, coming off of a timeout and in the middle of a 7-0 run, started by that big three-pointer by Jackie Callie, after the Dolphins fell behind by 7 points. Chan with the basketball. Chan's floater in the lane is good. Deborah Chan with the layup. She now leads the Beavers with 13. McEwen and Bessie. And Bessie looks to feed it inside. A tough pass. And now the Dolphins turn the ball over. Here comes Chan with the basketball. Chan looking to drive her way inside as the Dolphins wall her off, and now the Beavers will set up offensively once again. Blair guarded by Tadero. She tries to lob the ball inside. She was looking for Chan cutting inside, but the pass a little bit behind her. So off the turnover now, it will be Dolphins basketball. Dolphins work the ball around to Bessie, who's able to drive down the lane. The shot is up, no good. Schmitter looks to go up strong, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on the Beavers. So the Beavers will pick up the foul. Zulo will pick up the foul. Her second, team's first. Dolphins inbound the basketball. As that's a long three-pointer by Callie. That's up no good. As Callie able to come away with the rebound and lay it up and in. Nice job by the Dolphins keeping that ball alive before Callie lays it up and in. And that's going to tie the game up at 39. Out to Chan. Her long three-pointer goes halfway down and out. Tough luck that time for Chan. And the Dolphins come away with the rebound. Tough pass inside, nearly stolen away, but Schmitter comes away with it. Now Callie, her open three-pointer is up, no good. That will bounce off the shot clock and out of play. So the Dolphins missed the shot as we have an opportunity to see that nice play by Bessie to keep that rebound alive, tip the ball out over to Callie, and she was able to lay that one up and in, which tied this game up at 39. Beavers now with possession of the basketball. Beavers looking to work the ball inside. Tipped away, and now Chad comes away with it. Chad driving down the lane. Her shot is up, no good. Ball tipped away, and they're able to come away with the offensive rebound. McCray with the basketball now. Bounce pass now over to Blair. Blair looking to work one-on-one against Schmitter. Schmitter, a nice play to knock the ball away, and now it's Callie looking to work one-on-two. Callie drives down the lane. Her shot is up, no good. And we're going to have a whistle and an offensive foul called on the play. So that offensive foul will be called on Jackie Callie, and let's see if we have an opportunity maybe to get another look at that one. It was a tough call on the play, and another foul on the Dolphins. Blair with the basketball, working the ball out over to Zulo. Zulo working it to Chad. She has it tipped away, and the shot by Brooks is good. Nice shot that time by Ashley Brooks. Ashley has 7, and the Beavers regain a 2-point lead. Tadero, her jumper from the free throw line is good. Diana has been red hot here in this second half. She's hit all 3 of her shots, and we're tied at 41. McCray loses possession of the basketball. It's knocked away. And here comes Callie with the basketball and an opportunity to give the Dolphins the lead as Blair will knock that one out of bounds, and it will remain Dolphin possession as you have an opportunity to see that charge on the play. And, boy, it didn't look like a good call from here as Schmitter puts up that jumper from the free throw line, and that's good. Dolphins now in the middle of a 13-4 run to regain the lead, 43-41. LaSalle with the basketball. LaSalle looking to work against McEwen. A fight for the basketball. And we're going to have a whistle and another foul called on the Dolphins. So now McEwen picks up her third. She's the third Dolphin, 2-3 personals. And the Beavers with an opportunity now to inbound the basketball. McCray with the basketball. McCray takes the ball to the basket and lays it up and in. 43-43 the score now. As it's McEwen with the basketball. Callie feeds it inside to Schmitter, who lays it up and in. Good job by the Dolphins to pound that one inside to Schmitter. She has 13, and the Dolphins regain their 2-point lead. McCray over to Blair. Blair, one of 2 Beavers in double figures here this afternoon. The layup is up, no good. And Tadero there to grab the rebound for the Dolphins. McEwen working the ball out over to Callie. Now Callie putting up the long 3-pointer. That's up no good. Players fight for the basketball. Beavers come away with possession as that's Blair. Now McCray with the basketball, and we're going to have a whistle and another foul on the play. And that's going to be on McEwen, and that's going to be her 4th. So that's a big foul on McEwen. She typically plays nearly every minute for the CSI Dolphins, as we have an opportunity to see that foul called on the play as the Dolphins continue to accumulate fouls here in this game, and the Beavers now with possession of the basketball. Dolphins able to come away with the turnover, and now it's Mbesi with the ball for the Dolphins. She feeds it inside to Schmitter. Her layup is up, no good, and the Beavers control the rebound. Beavers bring the ball up now as that's Chan with the basketball. Chan looking to feed it inside. It goes in the corner now to Zulo, whose open 3-pointer is good. Zulo with her second 3-pointer of the year, and we're going to have a full timeout on the floor. So we're going to step aside and take a break. 1 minute, 49 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Beavers 46, Dolphins 45. You're watching CUNYAC Game of the Week coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Hey, CUNY fans, do you need sporting goods? Modell has provided exceptional service for 125 years and offers a 10% discount to all CUNY students, faculty, and staff when you present a valid CUNY ID upon your purchase. You gotta go to Moe's. 1 minute, 49 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. Beavers lead by a score of 46-45. The Beavers have led in this game by as many as 7. They led by a score of 37-30 Dolphins were able to come back and take a 45-43 lead, but Zulo three-pointer from the corner has given the Beavers a 1-point lead with 1 minute and 49 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. And, you know, we talked about the CUNYAC standings here earlier this afternoon. Dolphins coming into this game, one of three teams with just one loss. The Beavers sitting at 5-3. So the Beavers looking to pull the big upset here this afternoon and have themselves a 1-point lead as Callie has that shot blocked from behind. Over to Camerlengo. Her three-pointer is up, no good. Schmidt lays it up and in, and we're going to have a whistle. And with 1 minute and 27 seconds remaining here in this third quarter, the Dolphins will go to the free throw line for the first time here this afternoon. So it'll be Kayla Schmidt going to the line here for the Dolphins as her first free throw is up and in. Kayla shooting 71% from the line coming into the game, and we're tied at 46. Schmidt's second free throw is up and in. She re-gives the Dolphins a 1-point lead and now leads the Dolphins in scoring. She has 14 points. So Schmidt will come to the bench now as she's replaced, as that pass is going to sky out of bounds. And it will be Dolphin basketball as it's Callie Camerlengo out on the floor along with Tadero, Bessie, and Moylan for the Dolphins. For the Dolphins, Troy Moylan continuing to pick up big minutes in the game here this afternoon. She played over 11 minutes in that first half for the Dolphins. Camerlengo with the basketball. Now in Bessie. And Bessie bounce pass goes out over to Tadero. Dolphins now with 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Less than a minute in the quarter as that ball is knocked out of bounds. And it will be Beaver basketball. Beavers inbound the basketball now, as it's going to be McCray bringing the ball across the midcourt line. McCray able to work her way inside the Dolphin defense, and we're going to have a whistle and an offensive foul that time called on Elia McCray as she barreled into Jackie Callie, and Callie picked up the personal foul. And Dolphins now in possession of the basketball with about a 10-second differential on the game clock and the shot clock. And Bessie out behind the three-point line is we're going to have a whistle and a foul, and that's going to be on Crystal Blair. For Crystal, that'll be her second personal, the team's fourth. So the Dolphins will now get a fresh 30-second shot clock, and there's a 1.3-second differential on the shot clock and the game clock. Camerlengo with the basketball now for the Dolphins. Now it's Callie. Callie looking to dribble away inside, swarmed by black jerseys, and now it's Camerlengo. Camerlengo with 14 to shoot. Camerlengo's pass deflected, and now the Beavers come away with the basketball with less than 10 seconds remaining here in the quarter. Zulo feeding it inside to Blair. Blair's shot is up, no good, and it'll be Dolphin basketball now with 1.2 seconds remaining in the quarter. And that's going to do it. The CSI Dolphins are able to outscore CCNY 19-14 in that third quarter, and they'll go into the fourth leading by a score of 47-46. We'll take a break now. Heading into the fourth quarter, you're watching the CUNYAC Game of the Week right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun?
We're back, and we're getting ready for the start of the fourth quarter. The Dolphins find themselves leading by 47-46, as they've been able to turn around their halftime deficit, and they trailed by as many as 7 in this game, 37-30, but they finished the half on a 17-9 run, and they find themselves with a 1-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. McCray with the basketball now. McCray looking to dribble. Rosa Perone back into the game for the Dolphins as that's Chan. Chan feeding it back out over to McCray. Now it's Zulo with the basketball. McCray thought about the three with less than 15 on the shot. Is McCray able to drive right down the center of the Dolphin defense and lay it up and in. Beautiful move that time by Alea McCray. She's got 5, and the Beavers regain the lead, 48-47. Kamalengo with the basketball. Now Schmitter out by the three-point line. Now Callie. Callie thought about the three-pointer, drove baseline, now feeds it back up over to Schmitter. A jumper from the free throw line extended is no good, and Blair is there to grab her game-leading 12th rebound for the Beavers. McCray with the basketball now. McCray looking to work against Kamalengo. Her pass going back out over to Blair. Now McCray. McCray has the ball tipped away, and the Dolphins able to come away with the basketball as Bessie comes away with the ball now for the Dolphins. Callie out by the three-point line at the Dolphins as she looks to reset as that ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Beavers, so it will be Dolphin basketball. We played 1 minute and 19 seconds here in this fourth quarter. The Beavers with the only basket of the game, and they lead by a score of 48-47. Perone over to Callie. Her open three-pointer is good. Big three-pointer by Jackie Callie. She's now 3 of 9 from the three-point line. She has 13 points, and the Dolphins regain the lead, 50-48. Second time today, Callie's had a big three-pointer in this second half. When the Dolphins fell behind by 7, she hit that big three-pointer. And now the Dolphins coming away with the basketball as Perone gets the turnover. And now it'll come to Kamalengo. Kamalengo looking to drive her way inside, and she's going to draw the foul. That time, Christina taking the ball aggressively to the basket, and she will go to the free throw line. As that foul is going to be called on Melanie Torres. For Melanie, that's going to be her first, the team's first. As Kamalengo goes to the free throw line to shoot 2 and misses the first. Kamalengo coming into the game, hitting all 4 of her free throws, so that was her first miss. And she hits the second, and the Dolphins open their lead up to 3 now, 51-48. As they're on a mini 4-0 run here in the fourth quarter. McCray with the basketball. Now Chan. Chan looking to work against the Bessie. She gets it outside to a wide-open Zulo, but she can't hit the 3. And Schmitter is there for the rebound for the Dolphins. Kamalengo with the basketball now. Will back the ball out. And now give it over to Callie. Kamalengo pulls back for a three-pointer. That's no good, and McCray there to grab the rebound for the Beavers. McCray, and we're going to have a whistle and an offensive foul called on the play, and that time Aliyah doesn't like the call, and I'm not sure I blame her. Looked like a tough call on McCray, but she's going to get called for the offensive foul, and the Dolphins will take possession of the basketball off the turnover, as we have an opportunity to see that one again. And tight call. And now we're going to have a whistle and another foul. And the Beavers, who have managed to stay out of foul trouble really all night long, all of a sudden found themselves with 3 personals here in this fourth quarter. As that foul is going to be on Ashley Brooks. And now we're going to have a whistle and another foul as Schmitter gets fouled hard on the play. And that foul's going to be on Zulo, and that's going to be her third and the team's fourth already here in this fourth quarter. So Schmitter will go back to the free throw line here for the Dolphins to shoot 2. Her first free throw is up and in. Kayla now 3 of 3 from the line, 6 of 8 from the field with 4 rebounds. Another strong game for Schmitter. She has 15 points, and the Dolphins have a 4-point lead. She hits a second, and the Dolphins find themselves now up 5, 53-48, with 7 minutes and 12 seconds remaining here in this fourth quarter. Nice feed that side, inside, but Schmitter comes away with the block. Schmitter, her second block of the afternoon. She's one of the best shot blockers in the conference. And the Dolphins with it, big opportunity here with the basketball and a 5-point lead. Schmitter kicking it back to Carmelengo. Her open three-pointer is up, no good, but she's able to grab her own long offensive rebound, but Perone loses the ball inside, and she gets it out. Now it's McCray with the basketball now for the Beavers. Couple of opportunities there for the Dolphins, but a nice job defensively by the Beavers to force the turnover. Fight for possession as we're going to have a jump ball, and the possession arrow will go to the Dolphins. 6 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the game, and the Dolphins find themselves with a 53-48 lead. And with 6 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, the Dolphins will bring the ball up the floor. Dolphins in the middle of a 23-9 run that turned around a 7-point deficit. As what a rebound by Schmitter on the play, and then Perone has the shot blocked, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul on the play. That foul is going to get called on Crystal. Actually, that foul is going to be called on Brooks, as we have an opportunity to see that beautiful rebound by Schmitter, and she fed it over, and Brooks got called for the foul, and that was a tough foul on Brooks, and now the Beavers will find themselves over the limit for the rest of the quarter. The Dolphins yet to pick up a foul here in the fourth, as Perone hits the first. Rose's first free throw of the afternoon. She now has 5 points on the day for the Dolphins. She's a 67% free throw shooter. She hits them both, and the Dolphins continue on their run, and they've opened up the lead now to 7 points. 25-11 run here for the Dolphins to turn around a 37-30 deficit, and now we're going to have a whistle and a foul on the Dolphins. So it'll be a kick ball, and it'll be McCray to inbound with 5 minutes and 47 seconds remaining. Beavers needing a basket here. They've scored just 2 points in this fourth quarter. Chan with the basketball, looking to work against Mbesi. Chan looking to drive past Mbesi. Her tough runner, one-hander is up, no good. And once again, Schmitter is there to grab the rebound for the Dolphins. Carmelengo, Mbesi, her corner baseline jumper is no good, but a big offensive rebound grabbed by Carmelengo, who backs the ball out with the Dolphins holding a 7-point lead. Callie thought about the three-pointer, but her pass cross-court is going to go out of bounds. Big turnover for the Dolphins, and it will be Beaver basketball. (55-48) as we head toward the midway point here in this fourth quarter. As that feed inside is up, no good, but we're going to have a whistle and a foul, as that time Brooks is going to get called for the personal foul. As Ashley Brooks heads to the free throw line, we would like to thank Pepsi, the official soft drink of the CUNY Athletic Conference. So I'm not sure what happened on that play, but I think we're going to have some type of technical foul, as Ashley Brooks is going to pick up a technical foul. Not sure what happened on that play, but it's going to lead to free throws now for the Dolphins, and, you know, that's something that you certainly don't need. And that's going to foul her out of the game, and, boy, that's a tough way to foul out of a close game for the Beavers, as she's been one of the best players out on the floor for CCNY, as Schmitter goes to the free throw line and makes the first one hurt as she hits the first. One more free throw upcoming here, as that free throw is up and in. And all of a sudden, the Dolphins find themselves with a 9-point lead, 57-48, 18 points, 2 blocks, as you can see up on your screen for Kayla Schmitter, and she's done it playing a very efficient offensive game for the Dolphins here this afternoon, as the Dolphins find themselves up by 9, as they've been able to take advantage of a 27-11 run to take a 9-point lead. See the free throws up on your screen, and Dolphins didn't even go to the free throw line until there were just a couple of minutes left in the third quarter. And they've nearly come back in the number of free throws as Melanie Torres goes to the free throw line, hits her first to break that Dolphin run and close the deficit to 8 points. One more free throw upcoming here for Torres, as she looks to cut the deficit down to 7. Her second free throw is up, no good. And the rebound is grabbed by Schmitter as we reach the midway point here in the fourth quarter, and the Dolphins hold an 8-point lead. Carmelengo with the basketball now, working it out over to Mbesi. Now they feed it inside to Perone. Back to Carmelengo. No hesitation on the jumper, halfway down and out. And Torres grabs the rebound and feeds the ball out over to McCray. McCray with the basketball, trying to drive her way inside. She kicks it out. The open jumper is no good that time by Blair. That shot a little deep from the outside, and the Dolphins able to control the rebound. And Bessie feeding the ball back out over to Callie, and with an 8-point lead, the Dolphins are thinking about running a little shot clock here as the ball goes into the hands of Carmelengo, who's been the point guard here in the second half for the Dolphins, as she puts up that three-pointer. That's no good, and Chan comes back nicely to grab the long rebound for the Beavers. 4 minutes remaining in the game. That long three-pointer, a big miss. That ball bounces twice on the floor before Schmitter grabs the rebound. Nice play by Carmelengo as she backs that ball out, as the Dolphins now with that 8-point lead can afford to run the game clock down a little bit. And we're going to have a whistle and a timeout taken on the floor. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, so let's keep it right here. Register for Army ROTC to be a leader and an officer in the U.S. Army, Army Reserve, or Army National Guard. You could also be eligible for a full tuition scholarship. Lead the team that makes a difference. Contact CUNY ROTC today at 212-650-6478. Again, that's 212-650-6478. Paid for by the United States Army. 3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining here in this game. Dolphins lead by a score of 57-49. This was a game that the Dolphins led by 1 coming into the fourth quarter, but it's been 10-3 Dolphins here in the fourth, and they find themselves with an 8-point lead with possession of the basketball with 16 seconds remaining on the shot clock and 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in the game this afternoon. Just a reminder, you're watching CUNYAC Game of the Week coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet. We'll be back approximately a half hour to bring you the same 2 teams on the men's basketball side exclusively on CSI Sportsnet. Callie with the basketball. Her three is up, no good. Carmelengo goes for the rebound, but it'll go out of bounds. And the Beavers stay in the game, getting a big defensive stop there. And they'll have possession of the basketball. Big offensive trip upcoming here for CCNY. Torres with the basketball. She's played well for the Beavers here in the second half. That long three-pointer is up, no good. But it's Imani Butts able to grab the rebound. And Callie's going to pick up the foul. That's her second, only the second team foul for the Dolphins here in the fourth. So the Beavers rebound with a fresh 30-second shot clock as we have a whistle. And we're going to have an offensive foul called on the play. Big call, big swing, controversial call as Jamie Angelini is living on the sidelines. Let's see if we can get the replay on that one. That's a huge call in the game because instead of an opportunity, as we have an opportunity to see it, oh boy, that's awful close, Nick, as that's going to be a offensive foul called on the Beavers as Blair is going to pick up her third. Oh boy, that was a real tough call on Blair, which could have made it a 5-point game if the Beavers could have hit the free throw. Huge swing moment here as the Dolphins try to corral the ball along the floor. It'll go out of bounds, and it'll be Beavers basketball inside of 3 minutes remaining here in the game as the Dolphins turn the ball over and keeps the Beavers' hopes alive here this afternoon. 18th turnover of the game here for the Dolphins. Blair with the basketball, working on Schmitter. Rejected once again by Kayla Schmitter. Huge defensive play by Kayla. She came in fourth in the conference in blocks, and depending on the action later this afternoon, she could have catapulted herself all the way into second, as she now has 24 blocks on the year for the Dolphins. Callie with the basketball. Callie, beautiful feed inside to Schmitter, who lays it up and in. And Jackie Callie with two of the biggest baskets of the afternoon picks up a huge assist on that play. That opens the Dolphin lead to 10, and the Dolphins now down to their final opportunities. McCray driving down the lane, and a floater is up and in. Elia McCray with the layup. She now has 7, and that cuts the deficit down to 8 inside of 2 minutes remaining in the game. McEwen with the basketball, checking back into the game for the Dolphins with 4 personal fouls, hopefully to run out the clock for the Dolphins. And Bessie fighting her way inside. Nice play by the Beavers to force a turnover. And here comes McCray with the basketball, taking it coast to coast and laying it up and in. Beautiful play that time by McCray as the Beavers showing no quit in this one as they've come back to make it a 6-point game. As we have an opportunity to see Blair's block that time by Kayla Schmitter that forced a big turnover. At that point, the Dolphins had themselves a lead in the game that the Beavers have been able to come back and cut down to 6 with 1 minute and 33 seconds remaining here in this fourth quarter. And it's been a good back and forth game all afternoon. The Beavers have led in this game by as many as 7. The Dolphins open their lead to as many as 10 here in the fourth quarter. But the Beavers going to try to put pressure on the basketball here and see if they can force a Dolphin turnover and get themselves back into the game. It's a 2-possession game now with 1 minute and 33 seconds remaining, and the Beavers do not press in the backcourt. A little bit surprised that the Beavers are going to allow the Dolphins to run shot clock, and if you're the Dolphins here and really no need to put up a shot until there's about 5 seconds or so remaining on the shot clock. Schmitter over to Dodaro. She puts up the jumper. It's no good. And the rebound controlled by McCray. McCray looking to work one-on-one against Callie. She misses the shot but draws the foul. So the Dolphins putting up that shot a little bit early in the shot clock. They still had 13 seconds remaining, and McCray able to grab the rebound and charge down the floor one-on-one against Callie. Made a nice move to the basket. Callie fouled her, and now McCray goes to the free throw line. She hits her first, and the Beavers right back in this game as they now find themselves on a 5-0 run to make it a 5-point game. Make it a 6-0 run to make it a 4-point game with just over a minute remaining. Let's see what the Dolphins could do offensively on this possession. McEwen with the basketball. McEwen dribbling the ball around inside of 1 minute remaining as the Dolphins look to run shot clock down here in the fourth. McEwen driving the ball to the basket and laying it up and in. Big move by Megan McEwen. She only has 4 points here this afternoon, but those are two big ones as the Dolphins now lead by 6. McCray with the basketball. McCray looking to drive inside. That shot is up, no good, but she's able to grab her own rebound. Chan working it inside to Blair. Blair working against Schmitter, who blocks it once again, the second time in the final few minutes where Kayla Schmitter has been able to block the ball, force the turnover. That time she draws the foul, and with 24.9 seconds remaining, that could be the final dagger into CCNY here this afternoon. Is you have an opportunity to see that big basket there by Megan McEwen that turned a 4-point game into a 6-point game for the Dolphins as Schmitter misses her first free throw of the afternoon. The Dolphins now 9 of 11 from the free throw line. She'll have one more free throw upcoming with 24.9 seconds remaining in the game. Schmitter's second free throw is up and in, and the Dolphins now lead by 7. A big basket because that makes it a 3-possession game with 20 seconds remaining. McCray with the basketball. Now Chan. Chan guarded closely by Schmitter out by the 3-point line. There's only 12 seconds remaining, and Chan's able to hit that basket to make it a 4-point game, but with only 9.6 seconds remaining. And in the women's game, the fact that the Dolphins will get to inbound the basketball, and the Dolphins find themselves in strong position here with 9.6 seconds remaining to close this one out. It's a 4-point game. MCU is one of the oldest and largest credit unions in the country. CUNY students and faculty are all eligible to join MCU and experience the benefit and security of credit union membership. For more information, please visit the Municipal Credit Union's website, nymcu.org, and support the official credit union of CUNY Athletics. 9.6 seconds remaining in this game. Dolphins looking to extend their winning streak to 4 consecutive as Beavers have come in and played a great game, great road game here this afternoon. As we're going to have a whistle and a foul in the backcourt. And, you know, once again, with only 6.2 seconds remaining, just really not enough time on the shot clock as Megan McEwen is going to get to go to the free throw line here for the first time here this afternoon as the Dolphins look to ice this game and win their 4th consecutive game. 6.2 seconds remaining in this one as McEwen goes to the free throw line. Her second free throw is up, no good, as the Beavers grab the rebound as Chan brings the ball up the floor. She hoists the long three-pointer. That's no good, and that's going to do it. The College of Staten Island will win their 4th consecutive game and up their conference record to 8-1 as they're able to hold on and defeat the CCNY Beavers by a final score of 63-58. So a really good game here to open up the festivities here at the tank at the College of Staten Island as the Beavers were able to pull out in front by as many as 7 points in this game as they led by a score of 37-30 before the Beavers were able to, the Dolphins were able to come back and take the lead in this game, and we're nice enough to be joined by Kayla Schmitter. Kayla with a big game for the Dolphins here this afternoon, 21 points and 5 blocks. And Kayla, it was a tough game here this afternoon. CCNY really came out and gave you everything you wanted.
Yeah, I think they really came out with great energy, and in the beginning we were a little like low on our energy, so the second half was really important for us to bring up that same energy.
You know, Kayla, the team fell behind by 37-30 in that game before you guys went on a big run. What turned things around for you late in the third quarter?
I think our defense really turned around. You know, we were communicating more and really like switching on screens and things like that, and that just brought like the overall energy up.
And late in the fourth quarter, 2 huge blocks on Crystal Blash. Crystal was great all afternoon long. What did you see that let you know you could step in on that?
I just saw the opportunity and took it. You know, it was important. I feel like it brought my own energy up and the team. And
great offensive game today, Kayla.
Thank you.
Congratulations and good luck for the remainder of the season.
Thank you.
That's Kayla Schmidt, nice enough to come over and join us here on CSI Sportsnet as the College of Staten Island able to turn around a 37-30 deficit to finish out the game and win by a final score of 63-58 as they up their record to 8-1 in the conference on the year, 14-4 as they win their 5th consecutive game, or I should say 4th consecutive game of the season. A couple of quick stats before we go off the air. The Dolphins finishing this game shooting 75% from the free throw line in the fourth quarter. Just 4 of 13 from the field was CCNY in that fourth quarter. But the Dolphins didn't shoot much better, but they were able to go 9 of 12 from the free throw line, and it was enough to escape here this afternoon as they defeat the Beavers by a final score here of 63-58. So that's going to wrap things up here for the CUNYAC Game of the Week. We're going to step aside and we're going to come back on the air and join you exclusively on CSI Sportsnet for the second game of the doubleheader as the College of Staten Island's men's basketball team looks to extend their winning streak against CCNY. The opening tip for that game, approximately 25 minutes from now, we'll be back on the air at approximately 10 or 15 minutes. So for my producer, Nicholas Durst, this is Mike Babuski saying so long. Stay right with us. We'll be back on the air shortly. Once again, the final score, the Dolphins win by a score of 63-58.